What's up, Caputo?
Dustin Bonez, what's going on, man? It's a Monday. It's another episode of the Guns and Radio podcast.
Yes.
I don't know where else can we go with this cold open.
Man, I'm going to tell you, this is going to be our classiest episode yet. We've got Britain and Spenser from the podcast Gettin Head on our show.
Yes, we got the Buckethead
I'm not going to
boys.
give you
Finally.
any more context till after the intro, because if you don't know, it's funnier this way. Oh, yeah. And we got a pretty big show ahead, and plus in a little bit we're going to be reviewing Translucent by Duff McKagan. So with that, what say you, Chris? Should we just go ahead and get started?
Hell yeah, brother. Dustin, hit that intro. Let's do it.
All right, if you insist.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Guns in Radio podcast. And now, give it up for your hosts, Chris, Caputo, and Dustin Bonez.
Oh my God.
Hey.
Look at that. Here we are, live on the internet.
All up in those internets, yeah. Well, kind of live.
Crazy Al Gore invented.
Oh yeah,
live to tape. That's something. So
yeah,
yeah. So guys, welcome to the show, man. We met you guys a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
feels like
on a live stream.
I want to say it was on.
Well, it was on Axel's
60th birthday.
Yeah,
yes.
We met you at Axel's birthday party. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Well, we all were there partying with Axl Rose on his
watching
birthday.
November Rain 60 times in a row.
Yeah, well, if we tell it this way, it sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny watching those guys like get over it so quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched the video hundreds of times probably at this point in my life.
You really think hundreds of times? Like that's
maybe
that's
not
a bold
hundreds.
claim.
I mean, like the video almost has 2 billion plays. I feel like it's always been on at some point.
I mean, it's like a VH1 classic screensaver at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I used to watch so much pop-up video back in the day. I had to at least like a dozen times just on pop-up video.
Definitely.
Yeah. Did you ever tape that shit when you were a kid?
I never did. And like I feel like it's weird. Like I feel like there's no like equivalent to pop-up video that took pop-up vide's place. And
it just went away. It's just not a thing anymore.
There's the YouTube comment section. That's pretty close.
That's true. So, I mean, that's like pop-up video with racists, and that's not fun.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Have you seen like YouTube does have like a new experimental feature that's basically pop-up video, where like comments that take place, comments that mention a timestamp, you can if you look at it in a browser, you can say like, hey, pop up these comments when like they tag it, and so it's basically pop-up video but stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, fucking SoundCloud's been doing that for like a decade now.
Oh, definitely.
So they took annotations away from the creator and gave them to the viewer, is what I'm hearing.
That sounds about right. Yeah. Well,
yes.
Which kind of sucks, but
you can opt into it.
There's cool annotation stuff like all the Genius, Rap Genius and Music Genius, all that stuff now.
Yeah,
give some power to the artist to kind of set the record straight. I think that's cool. So
it did kind of get out of hand there for a while, because you remember before they got rid of it, you go to some of the older YouTube videos and they just have the whole fucking screen covered in annotations. And
yeah.
That whole thing. So, well, guys, while we're up here at the very beginning, let's talk about your show.
Oh yeah, we have a show.
We do.
My God, we do.
So it is tangential, I'd say, to your podcast.
Tangential,
same universe.
Yeah.
The Guns N' Roses audio universe, if you will.
Yeah. So we do a podcast called Gettin Head. That is
bucket cast.
It's specifically about oral sex.
Yeah.
Okay.
And buckets.
And buckets.
And buckets.
Plastic. We found some other materials, but they're mostly wooden plastic.
The kind that you buy to shit in while you are camping.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Or in an Arby's bathroom.
Yeah.
And you can sit down on the toilet.
It was just the dump job, and it got missed. And
if they haven't done the hose down yet, you gotta
The hose down.
He was going to dump the bucket, and it's like that episode of The Office where Kevin drops the chili.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Laying on the floor, all the poo-poo everywhere.
I like how he's like turning around to look at it, like it's really there.
But no, so our podcast is actually about Buckethead.
Debatably,
that is the basic structure of our podcast.
The excuse for us to record what we record is Buckethead.
It accounts for maybe like 25% of our content max at this point.
That sounds familiar.
We just did like a full hour on like all the movies and music released on 9/11 because people were interested. Like, why not?
Why not?
Oh Lord, I didn't think of that. How much was there?
I would have thought of that.
Quite a bit. There were actually two video games released on 9/11. Which is pretty cool too. The best one that I think we talked about was the film Rockstar.
Yeah, Rockstar
was released the Friday before 9/11. 9/11 happened on a Tuesday, and it came out the week before.
Yeah.
Now, is that the one with Miles Kennedy in it at the end?
He is. Miles Kennedy, who now plays with Slash, is on that movie. There's a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of like LA studio guys in that movie. Like both of the bands on that movie are comprised basically of like entirely session musicians. It's pretty cool. Like Zach Wilde plays guitar. Jason Bonham is on drums. The bassist is the guy who played for Dawkins. Now he plays for Foreigner. Like they're legit musicians.
That's pretty cool, man. And so it's literally one of the last movies of the last great decade before life kind of really got fucked up.
It was one of the last really innocent movies, I feel, Rockstar.
Yeah. I mean, it has Mark Wahlberg in it, and he blinded an elderly Asian man, so I don't know if he's innocent exactly.
He did not apologize for it for like 25 years. So
that's true. Yeah.
I don't know, man. A payday's a payday. Didn't who else did that? What was that movie? Is it Breakfast at Tiffany's where somebody played a?
No, that's a song that they play at the grocery store.
That's true. Love that shit.
I said, what about Breakfast at Tiffany's? Yeah, it's a banger.
Have you ever? I'll tell you something. Then we talked about this a little bit last week, or we were going to, and then we got sidetracked. But the new Batman just came out. Have you ever seen the original Batman with the fake Asian guy as the bad guy? Because if you haven't,
Adam West type shit.
No, we're talking
like pre
World War II era.
Oh, not the 40s. That sounds interesting.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's real Bob Kane hours, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I figure I think Bob Kane was still alive. Probably Bill Finger too.
Nice.
But
you know why they called him Bill Finger, right?
Why is that?
Because that's his name.
Oh, yeah. I was taking the bait. I was waiting on the punchline. But so you guys, it sounds like you guys do pretty much on your show what we do on this show. We have a song as an excuse to actually sit down and hit record, and then
I mean we are, the structure of it is Buckethead is that at this point made over 300 albums in a series of albums he calls Pikes, which are independently released albums that are approximately half an hour each. And he releases them on a schedule anywhere from like 20 in a year to 117 in a year.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Right.
Yeah, he's a prolific man. He be out there dropping these bangers in some cases, not always bangers, but sometimes. And like it was, I am unfortunately cursed with being the one who came up with the idea.
Yeah.
And Britt and I had been talking about doing a podcast for a long time, but we had never really figured out an idea that really worked for us. And I was like, you know what? Buckethead, dude. Like, he has like 300 fucking albums. Like, Why don't we just review?
At that time, he only had, I believe, 284 pikes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Only
Now he has
284.
301. So since then, 17 just crept up on us. And...
Yeah, totally. And then so like I was like, hey, well, why don't we just like we take like 3 of those each week and we review them, and then we started with that, and then we bolted on so many segments that now the majority of our show is not Buckethead related.
No, that's very true. Yeah, it's really just a big tangent about like what we think about like culture.
Yeah.
That's
and
about it.
Specifically like music related though. I would say like that's the one thing that we like kind of always come back to. So we're always talking about music because we're both musicians, like longtime musicians, and you know, fans of music, and especially like
I wouldn't go so far as to say I'm a fan of music.
Okay, yes,
I tolerate it.
yes, there you go. There you go.
Exactly. So like we have another friend from a podcast called What the Famicom, and it's a podcast for a video game podcast for people who hate video games. So, Britain, what I'm hearing is this is your take on this music thing.
I'm unfortunately cursed to have to listen to music.
Yeah,
it's just like it's something that like my brain is like, you know, you got to listen to this, and I have to keep doing it, and I can't stop.
Right.
And that kind of sucks. I've been around for now 33 years, and like I'm still doing it. And now I'm sitting in front of a green screen with a toilet background and talking to y'all about Duff McKagan. So like my life is I'm at the lowest point of my life. But, you know.
Actually, we should definitely mention that Duff is a local celebrity here.
Yeah.
Lives in Seattle. I've seen his he has a Stooges cover band, I think that's who they cover. I don't remember, some band I don't care about. I saw him play on the they did a free concert on the roof of Pike Place Market, which is like the most Seattle thing anyone can possibly
That's
do.
super fucking Seattle.
Oh.
Shit.
It was pretty cool. I got just wasted and watched Duff McKagan.
I actually have a Duff McKagan story as well. I was at a show at a local venue called El Corazon. Terrible venue. Don't go there if you're in Seattle. It fucking sucks. But like
the bathroom looks exactly like
it looks exactly like this. Like this could be the El Corazon bathroom. You wouldn't even
except
more
like,
stickers. Yeah,
they cut all of the stall doors in half so you can no longer OD in the stall.
Yeah. So like you know what's fucked up? Like if there's also no door on the men's bathroom there. If you walk by the bathroom and look in, you can see everyone who's shitting. Like you can just see it. Like it's just, and you have to walk by the men's bathroom to get to the women's bathroom. And like honestly, the men's bathroom there.
Anything like the men's restroom is at the crux between like the two bars there.
Yeah. So it's like if you're coming out of the bar or walking to the women's restroom or walking to the other bar, you can see everyone who is shitting and pissing.
I believe the only ATM in the entire place is right in front of
it's right in front of the door that is no longer there. And so like if you turn around, you're like, oh, I didn't want to see that, but all right, here we are. This is a behemoth show, and I need to avoid this.
A lot of thrash metal musicians taking a shit.
So many death metal dudes too. Like you know, it's one of those places. Anyways, like I was at a show. I was at a show there. I actually don't remember the show, unfortunately, but I remember like I was in. So that venue split up really weird. It's like the shape of a crescent moon, kind of. And there's like a bar on one end, and then there's like a hallway, and like where the bathrooms are, and then there's like another bar where you can't see the stage from the bar, but there's like TV screens that show you what's happening. It's really stupid. It's a terrible venue. Anyways, like I was in the big bar, the one that's like separated from the main area, and I remember I was like drunk and I was talking to someone and I was really animated, like, you know, like I am right now, basically, you know, telling a story. And they were like, oh my God, or somebody interrupted me telling this story and was like, hey, Duff McKagan's over there. And so I turn and there's like a tall guy standing over there, tall blonde guy. And I'm like, okay. And then I go back to my story, and that's all I remember from that night. I don't remember caring at all that Duff McKagan was there. I remember a lot of people caring about him being there and like kind of surrounding him, but I remember avoiding that because I was like, that sounds dumb. Like, and also I don't care. So, one more Duff McKagan story. His voice is on the airport.
It is. That's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah. You can talk about it. Yeah.
When you go to the Seattle airport, for some reason on the loudspeaker, every like 10 minutes they have a different like Seattle celebrity, and they have like Duff McKagan. They've got Eddie Vedder, and they got someone else from Seattle.
Steve Ballmer.
Probably. Probably like Bill Gates, but like,
yeah.
So like, if you're in the airport at the right time, you'll just hear like, bing bong. Hey, this is Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses.
Don't leave your bags unattended. If you do, they may be confiscated.
And also, if you see something, say something. Like,
let's look at the fucking attitude.
It's really wonderful and surreal, and I love the Seattle airport.
Yeah. It's probably Sir Mix-a-Lot. Is probably the other one.
That's it. Yes, you are 100% correct. Sir Mix-a-Lot definitely does a voiceover up on that.
Yeah, he's like the local celebrity that you drag out to everything.
He's not come to anything. Local though. He's from Bremerton.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Yeah, like MXPX is like. He's there with the MXPX in terms of Seattle celebrity.
You know, I would say arguably more people know who Sir Mix-a-Lot is than knows who Duff McKagan is.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he is more relevant in a way, especially since Nicki Minaj had that huge Anaconda song like 3 years ago. A huger hit like more recently than Duff.
I mean, his Anaconda don't want none. Unless
you got buns
on.
Well, I mean, as it should be. So
yeah, exactly, as it should be.
The line is about him like with his snake at like a hamburger restaurant, and they ran out of bread.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, feeding the snakes in Burger King.
No buns. He needs those carbohydrates. Come on.
What is he supposed to do? I ain't got no more frozen mice to feed him.
Yeah. He'd be like, "You're gonna make me say it? You're really gonna make me say it?"
It's the vibe. It's the vibe.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We love our local Duff.
We do. But anyways, that's what our show is like. Is just Britt and I, and sometimes a guest, often a guest actually these days, just talking about shit.
Yeah, mostly talking about the Duff McKagan voiceover at the airport.
Yeah, we actually told that story on the podcast.
At least
definitely.
2 or 3 times at this.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's a new one to us, to our ears and our listeners so far. So, I mean, that's always good.
Yeah.
But doesn't it kind of like, in a way, when you think about it, does it not kind of like set you back a little bit just how big he is in real life?
Yeah, he's a pretty tall guy. I'm pretty tall, and Britt is taller than me. I'm 6'1". Britt, you're what, 6'4", 6'3", something like that? Yeah. And Duff's got to be at least like 6'4", 6'5", like at least, right? Like that dude's pretty fucking tall.
He's also like insanely skinny and like fit, which like really offsets it because he's got like
maybe that's it,
section or butt, but he actually has like pretty broad shoulders and he's like big arms. So
yeah, he's just like he's an he's definitely easy to spot in a crowd for sure.
No.
Well, I'm 6'2", and I felt like he was way bigger than me, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's...
I felt like that too. Yeah. When I saw him in that bar that one time, I was like, that guy, he's pretty big.
Do y'all
remember that?
Do y'all have any like any musicians or anything that you've met that are like way bigger than you thought in real life or way smaller?
Axel's a lot shorter than I expected.
He's like 5'9" or something, though, right? He's like
average. Slash is a little bit shorter than I expected. I always, you got to remember, we're looking up at them from the stage, so then you meet them in real life when they're on the ground at your level, and it jars you a little bit because you're used to looking up at them. So
definitely,
I remember Triple H was huge.
Triple H is a big boy. Yeah. That's fucking. I mean, he's just a piece of meat. Like,
I mean, Frankie Muniz was short, but I mean, I came
You would
into that
expect
one.
that, right? I
You
mean,
expect that, yeah.
we grew up when like Frankie Muniz was playing a teenager on TV, so we expect him to be small,
right?
Even though he is like a grown ass man for sure at this point.
Yeah, kind of an asshole in real life. If I'm being
Really?
honest,
I hate to see it.
Really?
Hate to see
He has
it.
really bad CTE, so I hope that's his excuse.
Well, we'll talk about that. I want to save some of that because we're getting ready to tape. Rick's actually making a podcast on our channel, on our feed about that pretty soon. So,
all right,
a little sneak peek there. And let's see who else. I mean, Richard Fordish. He's pretty. He's about average. But he's really fucking skinny. Like, there ain't nothing to this dude. He's like 100 pounds soaking wet.
So why is it like every lead guitarist in LA is the skinniest person of all time?
It's a guitar thing. It's a guitar thing. Like as a person that has played lead guitar in a few bands, not a ton of bands, but a few bands, like I am also a tall, skinny person. And I'm fatter now. I'm not.
I was gonna say, like, once you stopped playing lead guitar in bands.
Yeah, I like that. Well, and also like I drank a bunch of beer and didn't move around for like 2 years now at this point. So
Yeah, well, when your only exercise is just fucking all the time and you quit playing guitar, then you lose
you get a weird body shape because you're working out like ab muscles, but it doesn't necessarily burn like ab area stuff, right? You get really buff legs. Like I have really buff legs, but not really anything else.
Is your like workout regimen just like hovering over the toilet at the Arby's restroom?
Well, I'm in the Arby's restroom right now, as you can see behind me. Like
abdominal exercise because you're going, and also like your the leg muscles.
That's a calf workout.
Yeah, exactly.
Like street squats or that shit.
I always go to Arby's when I got to do something really nasty because they got that hose hookup in the wall.
Oh yeah,
it's like really
love the hose down.
Yeah, it's like makes it easy to clean up. They got the drain in the floor. You just blast it.
Makes the part work real quick there.
Waffle stomp.
I think that's what.
No waffle stomp necessary. It's just spray it down.
You know that song WAP, that sample from it. There's some hose in this house. I think that's what that.
It's like it's like we have a drain in the bathroom floor, and we've got a hose hookup. The hose in this house,
some hose in this house.
There's a hose
anywhere. Hose in this
house.
Oh man, that's going way back now. How long ago was it that song came out? Because we reviewed it on this show
2 years ago. Something.
It was a couple years ago. We did the music video watch along.
Right. Well, I feel like that was 2019 when that song came out.
Almost 2.5, 3.
Yeah, because that definitely happened. I feel like that happened the summer before coronavirus.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
It was definitely a summer song because I remember.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I remember why did we get a hold of it? Like, what happened?
You wanted to do a music video watch along of it, so I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's do it for the podcast, and we just completely eviscerated it.
Well, that's because you didn't have the context of the Arby's hose. Like,
now it makes sense.
I understand, right?
Now you gotta redo it with that context.
Well, that's why the pussy's so wet. Also, so
yeah. Nothing gets pussy wetter than an Arby's bathroom. See,
I'm
down with the hose.
I've been mishearing the I thought it was like wet ass pussy, but it turns out it's wet ass and pussy. So
from the Arby's hose. Spray it down.
Okay, see, I'm glad we're putting all these things together now. It's really opening my eyes there.
Arby's hose, makeshift bidet over here.
Oh yeah, tight. Yeah. You leave it there. You got a bidet too. Yeah, there's so many advantages.
I'd love a bidet like that.
I would love fast food restaurants to have bidets in their restrooms. Like, right?
I would love every bathroom to have a bidet in the bathroom.
Right?
Yeah, rock. If you've never used a bidet, get on that shit. It rules. Like,
it's just
your
fucking
butthole
incredible.
always feels nice.
Once you cross that fucking rainbow bridge, dude, you never want to go back to
for
like
sure.
a peasant.
Like, I'm proud that I am the person who bought Brit I brought you your first bidet. I'm
Yeah,
happy
right?
that I was like, bro, do you really not have a bidet? And you're like, no. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna get you one for your birthday. And so I did. And then you're like, wow, holy shit.
Yeah, with the amount of how do I put this? With the amount of buttholes I eat.
Well, so that was why I bought it for you, because you kept talking about like sticking your tongue in buttholes, like people's buttholes, and I was like, yo, man, do you really not have a bidet? Like, you just be raw dogging that shit? Like, my dude.
A shower, a shower is like a it's
a big bidet.
Yeah, it's a whole
body bidet.
Whole body bidet.
Get off of everything.
About showers now. I love the bidet so much. Is like, I'm gonna go take a body bidet, and they're like, "What? Oh, I mean, sorry, a shower.
A shower. Yeah, it's chill.
Yeah.
Look, bitch.
Your ass in there on that bidet.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We love that. We love that.
Oh
yeah.
man, that's funny. That is funny. I didn't think of that, but you know what? That since I have also embraced my sluttier side, it's 100% there for me.
Yeah,
but that's an advantage. Didn't occur to me. Oh,
it's wonderful. You gotta.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. It's a whole
fruit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Eat from the tree of knowledge. You know?
Eat from the tree of ass.
Eat from the tree of knowledge.
Straight from
the Van Halen album.
Yeah, I'm sure I bumped into it a few times while I was down there.
Yeah, accidents happen or purposes happen. All.
Oh fuck! I was gonna ask you a question. I don't know if we're still eating it. Oh, whoopsie. Yeah. It don't take with that going wrong one time to make you never want to do it again.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, but you just count your lucky stars every time it goes right. And,
so when you saw Duff McKagan, Britt, did you see Loaded? Was it Duff? Was it Walking Papers?
No, it was a. I don't even know what the name of the band was. 1 second, let me look this up real quick. McKagan.
Because I feel like all of those bands hit Seattle pretty hard.
They probably have to. I mean, like, homie lives here. It's convenient,
Look, man, I'm going to tell you.
In Seattle, literally.
So this was back in 2015, and his band is called Four Stooges. Or no, Raw Power, I think.
Raw Power.
So it was Duff McKagan. Oh, I didn't know that. So it was Duff McKagan, Mike McCready, who's the guitarist for Pearl Jam, Barrett Martin, and Mark Arm. I don't know who those guys are. Oh, Barrett Martin was of the Screaming Trees, and Mark Arm, Mudhoney. So it's like,
wow, that was a super group, as they say.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not.
I don't know if they actually play out ever, but yeah, they played a fucking concert on the fucking.
Why were you there?
Because I heard that like there was a free concert, like Duff McKagan's Stooges band playing on the roof of Pike Place, and I'm like, I live in Seattle, and it's when I lived in Seattle, then I could walk there, and I was like, yeah, I was just gonna fucking get drunk and hang out and watch a free concert on a Pike Place roof.
I mean, I'd go if it was free.
Yeah, exactly. Like
free is worth it.
Yeah. Free, and like it was like open air, so like they weren't checking tickets or anything. You could just walk in with a big old beer, which I did, and just like puke all over the sidewalk, which I probably did.
as one does, after the Duff McKagan show.
Yeah,
because man, Lust for Life, I fucking hate this song.
I think I've come pretty close to having that reaction to a few Duff songs on the show. He has not had a good rep with us so far.
I mean, should we dive into the song?
We're gonna get to it in a minute.
Okay.
I mean, we can go ahead and start listening to it because
that's right. Because you're on Anchor, we can actually listen to the song.
Can we just listen to the song on here? Because we just do.
From my understanding with Anchor, you're allowed to listen to any song that's on Spotify as long as you listen to the complete song.
Oh, well, we do that. We talk over it. Maybe that's why they hadn't kicked us off yet.
Yeah. The Anchor's like the only thing you can actually do it on, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So,
How
Man,
about
isn't that
that?
fucking dumb? It's like it's so dumb that like you can play a video game on the internet like all day. It's chill, no worries. But if you like fucking play more than like 30 seconds of a song, any song, it's like fuck you, get the fuck off the internet, like you're fucking canceled, your mom is dead, like fucking your kids are going back to their mother, like you fucking no visitation. It's like laying it down. It's so hardcore. Like what the fuck? It's like you're back in the Arby's bathroom. Like
Before
I'm in the Arby's bathroom, no hose.
I'll tell you, it does piss me off because like fair use has been raped by the corporations so much now,
dude.
Oh, dude,
that it doesn't even have like it's not enforced. It's whoever has the most money wins.
Exactly. Well, it's enforced, but only like if you don't have lawyers. Like they are so happy to take down like small artists and content creators and shit. But like, you know, if it's someone like, you know, doing like a political rally or something and like illegally using music without permission, they can't do fucking anything about it. You know?
I don't know. Who was it that sued? What was that woman's name that wouldn't let gay people get married in her town and all the Republicans?
Oh, yeah. That was funny.
Kim something.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then she went to jail as she should. And then that Republican went and got her out so he could have a big Klan rally about how he got this woman out of prison. And she came out on the stage to Eye of the Tiger and foreigner sued.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
Survivor.
Yeah.
That's fucking tight. Good for them.
Yeah. Which, you know, that's the thing, though. Is like you can only do it if you have enough money and enough lawyers to go against, you know, people with the same amount or more lawyers than you. Which is,
I do love when politicians come out to like Rockin' in the Free World or Born in the USA.
I don't know. I know y'all are wrestling fans. I don't know if you saw it, but at a Trump rally a couple months ago, he came out to Taker's theme. With the bell and
the ministry theme,
like the fucking old Taker theme, like with the bells and shit. It was amazing.
Well, boss, what's like,
I am not. I do not politically affiliate anywhere near with Trump, but that is a bold move, and I almost respect it. Almost.
I could almost see like no chance in hell. But
like the NWO theme or something.
Oh, you know what? It would have been awesome if he came out too. Is I'm just a sexy boy, sexy boy, not your boy toy, boy toy.
Right, he's just like doing the jig like this.
That would be sick. Yeah.
Kurt Henning's old WCW song about hey,
Texas Rednecks.
Or well, it's a big show.
It's pretty big. I've never seen another candidate talk about their dick size during the campaign trail. If nothing else, I'm glad I lived long enough to see that happen. IRL. SNL was so good when Trump was there. That's one good thing he did for this country. He gave us good Saturday Night Live again.
Yeah. Bro, the last time I watched Saturday Night Live, Will Ferrell was a cast member, and all the jokes were about George W. Bush. Like, I have not watched fucking that shit since 2002.
Okay,
the latest.
Like you the last time you watched it, Kenan Thompson was still like a featuring person there.
Bro, wait, is he on SNL?
He is the longest running cast member on SNL. He has done.
I've never seen
been
him
on there
since
for
he's
like
been on there.
20 years. He's the longest running cast member and has done the most sketches of any
That's crazy.
cast member by like a factor of 2.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You see, my argument with that is like most people do SNL to get famous and then they go on to do movies and shit. Keenan did it in reverse, so he's going to be there forever. Like he was already famous.
Right.
Did his movies and shit.
I don't think he really wants to do movies because the dude is cleaning up. Like he makes a decent amount from SNL. You know, he only makes like $300,000 a year on SNL, which is like what the top cast member is paid based on seniority and shit. Yeah. But he's on so many fucking ads.
Like, well, he wasn't making that for fucking all that. I can tell you that damn much. Or Keenan and Kel.
He's making so much money just like being on like T-Mobile shit and whatever. Like, you know.
I do know that it must have hurt when him and Kel auditioned and Kel didn't get it and he did.
Yeah, Kel like, yeah, he didn't get it at all. He got a terrible write-up from fucking Lorne Michaels, which is fucked up.
Yeah, that's a death sentence in New York.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, especially in the entertainment like business, like if Lorne Michaels is like, you're going off Broadway.
You're not even going to get to do the Tonight Show.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Whatever that shitty. Who's that shitty guy that replaced Jimmy Fallon when he took over the Tonight Show?
Oh,
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon.
No.
Fallon replaced himself.
Seth Meyers.
Oh, Seth Meyers.
Well, the late one.
More than
James Corden. Are you thinking of?
Yeah.
No, you could probably do James Corden because it's not on NBC.
Well, he's in LA. Yeah, a lot of those are in LA anyway. Like him and Kimmel do LA.
He's the worst one though.
Well, that's fine, but look, dude, what I'm saying is Lorne Michaels' influence is all over NBC. Like,
it is.
It's not.
I mean, it's all over everywhere. It's like, I mean, he owns a very specific corner of the entirety of American comedy, which is whatever.
Yeah. But I'll tell you this, man, talking about who played presidents, we know who played Bush. We can all remember who played fucking Trump. But I couldn't tell you who played Obama. Like, I mean, that just tells me SNL wasn't very good back then.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, for sure.
I can tell you who plays Joe Biden, either. Jim Carrey, last time I saw it.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious, by the way. I mean... Wow. I'm not for Trump, but you know, I voted against Trump. I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I voted against Trump.
I feel that.
Yeah,
I feel.
And I'll vote against Trump if he runs again in 2024. So.
Oh fucking A, right? Like it's like you know, I've been thinking about that shit a lot lately because like. I mean, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. That being said, like there was something that was at least like compelling about his insanity. Like instead of just like absolutely hating everything that the government does, at least like I hated everything the government did, and I hated one guy in particular who was like insane. And I was like, there was like a feeling you got from like following that and being like, what the fuck? Like, what the fucking shit? Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I still feel that way, but like back then it was like more insane shit. It was like Trump bought all these guys McDonald's and there's like a bunch of McDonald's in the White House. And I'm like, okay, like,
yeah, but, sure. But I mean, McDonald's kind of rocks. Like, I don't know. I mean,
that's still the most cheapest thing these people have ever eaten. And I'll bet not hardly any of that got touched by these fucking blue blood assholes.
Yeah.
I mean, when you feed off the blood of the living, I mean, McDonald's is kind of a step down there.
Very much so.
Yeah, certainly.
The living poor, particularly. Let me put it that way.
But you know, here's an interesting tie to our podcast. So Donald Trump, big famous fan of Diet Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Another famous fan of Diet Coke. The subject of our podcast, Buckethead.
Yeah.
So at least they've got that in common. You know, big fan of Diet Coke.
Buckethead and Brian Mantilla, also known as Brain, who played for Guns N' Roses for a while, along with Primus, a bunch of other bands.
Couple of big cokeheads, Diet Cokeheads.
Diet Cokeheads. They travel to a certain Jack in the Box, and I want to say like Indochino or something like that in California. They will go 50 miles out of their way to get the fizziest Diet Coke that they know they can find.
Okay. Yeah. Why not just buy the spigot with the maker in your home and do it there?
There's probably something ritualistic about
it.
Yeah,
it's about the journey. Yeah, it's kind of a religious thing.
Namaste.
Okay.
I mean,
I can
actually, by asking that question, I think you might be violating his HIPAA rights.
I can kind of relate, I guess, in a way, because when I lived in Mississippi, we would drive 8 hours to go to Whataburger. So
there you go.
There you go.
I'm not gonna, barge into your fucking medical history here and ask you why, because I just know what's best for yourself.
There you go.
Fucking
oh man,
hell yeah, hell yeah.
I gotta go pee real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put you away for a second. Then while he's gone, before we get on to the song, you guys did. Oh Lord, what'd I do?
There we go.
Let me switch back to this.
Yeah. Damn it.
Well, you guys do so much Buckethead. You say he's put out over 300 albums.
Over 300, yes, correct. Well, no, like just in this series, like all in all, he's released or been on over 400 albums. Actually.
Oh shit!
Do you think that's why he didn't last in GNR? Because he likes to play a song, be done with it, and go on to the next thing, instead of playing the same thing over and over again? And
I'll be completely honest. Like what I think brought about his end in Guns N' Roses is Axl Rose. Like I think that Axl has shown, at least with what he was doing with that band at the time, like he had no idea what he was doing. Like they were spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to like record and re-record a bunch of songs and like not release anything. And that album ended up being the most expensive album. Like it ended up being insane. And I think that like eventually you just get tired of that. Say what?
We're talking about the Chinese democracy, I assume, yeah?
Yeah.
$13 million.
Like that's insane. But it's an incredible grift. Like that dude milked so much money from like record companies. Like that is truly like savant level griftery. Like the dude is an incredible crook. Like one of the greatest thieves of all time.
I mean, but it's interesting though. Like, well, is he really a crook? Because he did have the collateral of one of the greatest selling rock albums of all time put up against it.
Well, what I mean in the sense of a grift is that like he managed to get these record companies to pay him and whoever was on his staff like significant amounts of money, like very, very significant salaries to essentially do nothing for 11 years?
Yeah.
Like what? That's fucking amazing. Like hell yeah, Axl Rose. But I think that like for Buckethead's perspective, like it was probably a really good gig while it lasted, but I imagine that like after he was in the band for 5 years, like
4, I think.
Yeah, and like that's a long.
Played
time.
like 3 shows.
5.
No, he lasted like a tour, and then that got canceled because of riots. Thanks, Axl.
After like 4 or 5 shows.
No, it was like a month. I think they were like a month into that like 2002 North American tour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roughly around there, because it was like I think they started like in October and like the beginning of December.
And the VMAs and a couple other things. So
long enough to freak out the GNR fans at the time, and then go on his way.
I think.
Sorry, I keep picking weed out of my beard. That's what I'm doing here.
That's normal shit, man. Like that's just the way it is sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what is this? Oh, it's weed.
That's worse things to have in your beard than that, definitely.
But I think Buckethead in Guns N' Roses like made a lot of sense. He's a great rock guitarist, and like he can write great songs, and like it makes sense to put him in the band.
Yeah.
Like it's a mystery to me how he managed to be in the band for so long and make so much money and still really only come out of it with like a couple shows and like some stuff on that record. But like good for him and good for Axl, and like it sounds like they're on fine terms. It doesn't sound like it was like a bad thing. So like good for everybody, right?
Has it been confirmed how much Bucket made? Because I know about how much the other guys have told me they made. I don't want to talk about it on the air because they didn't tell me on the air. I've never heard them say it on another show.
So, I mean, Buckethead's worth anywhere between $5 and $10 million that we know of right now. However, there's a lot of things involved there, including a big way he made a lot of his initial income was the licensing on Rock Band.
Okay.
He had three songs licensed on Rock Band, and one of them was on like a specific DLC package, which he made a ton of money on. But he, while he was recording like just studio tracks, what was it? I want to say we talked about it before, and each studio musician, I want to say, was getting paid like $11,000 a month.
It was somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 a month.
Like that. It was a healthy, like, over $100,000 a year back in like the early 2000s,
which is fucking incredible money.
To show up to the studio and like not really do anything and record over his tracks over and over and over. And then,
that's really close to what I've heard that like when the last iteration of the Chidem era version of Guns N' Roses broke up, what the band was making, with the exception of DJ. I don't know his, but I heard it was a whole lot more than what Tommy or Bumble or Fortis were getting. And that pissed everybody off.
That sucks. Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, it's like, if you have like 5 or 6 guitarists on the album, like none of them is vital. Like you can put, like, and especially the way that he had everybody retrack everything over and over and over. I imagine like pretty much everyone has tracked everything on that album, including the solos. So like you really only need like 2 or 3 guitarists. You just decided to like do a fucking Steely Dan with this situation and like pick and choose like 50 different fucking tracks to
like I really honestly wonder how they spent all that time, you know what I mean? Because like, dude, it doesn't take long to record a song like that, especially like with a good engineer and a good producer that's like keeping you on track. Like,
the thing is, apparently they had almost 200 songs written and recorded or something, like according to some different people.
I've heard that. Like, I would love to hear those songs. I wonder like why they never did anything.
I mean,
with
you've
stuff.
heard a couple of them, like Bizarre, or is that the new one, Bizarre and Hard School, are both like kind of B-sides from that era.
Oh, absurd.
Absurd.
Bizarre. That's a cult title.
Bizarre.
I
don't know, man. That was
cool. But so you definitely have heard other songs from that era, and some of them I actually like. Absurd. Like Absurd to me was like, this is like totally different.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. Yeah, it was like totally okay.
Yeah, and like it kind of felt timeless too. Like it was a cool song that could have been made anytime between the 90s and now.
Now it doesn't feature Bucket in that version though.
No, it doesn't. I want to say so that song was written by Dizzy or something like that.
Dizzy and Pittman wrote it originally.
Yeah, which is interesting that like I don't think Dizzy's really ever had like full songwriting credits on anything before. No.
His solo album, didn't he?
Well, I'm talking about
the solo album was him and Del James.
Yeah, so even there he didn't get full songwriting credit.
Interesting.
Yeah, but that's a good point with Dizzy. Have you guys ever done the thing that I keep telling people on the show to do, where you listen to Shackler by Buckethead and then immediately follow it with Shackler's Revenge?
I have. No, we've talked about Shackler and Shackler's Revenge.
We definitely have. Yeah,
a Bucket Fact, I think, because
do they not blend together very well?
They
as an
do.
extended
Like,
intro.
The thing is, like, they're obviously not the same song at all. Like, they don't have the same riffs at all or anything, but they do like actually flow together, and I feel like it was something very intentional on Bucket's part.
I think that if they would have done, like, how Slash always did the Godfather solo into Sweet Child of Mine, if they would have did that with Shackler and gave Buckethead his solo before Shackler's Revenge, that would have been a really cool live.
Cool. Although I do really like Buckethead's live solo set with Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, I've watched that too. It's pretty
neat. It's got some cool like he's got a medley of like his song For Aunt Susie in there and a couple others, and like it works. It works really well for him. It's distinctly different from like Slash's into his like solo thing, and it's different, but it's also also very kind of like thematic and theatrical. Like I think Buckethead was a great idea for a replacement for Slash, I don't know if he worked out exactly how they thought he would, but it was a great idea.
Yeah, like I feel like whoever made that final call, which is probably Axl Rose, right? Like
definitely Axl Rose. Couldn't have been
like that was an inspired choice. I do still think that like he's a great choice for a lead guitarist in that band, and especially at the time, like you know, he was an unusual character. Like the world was in a weird place. Like it made sense. Now maybe not as much.
No, now it's insane. But like for anybody to hire Buckethead is like guitarist, I'd be like, really?
I mean, I can see it for other bands. Like, I wouldn't be stunned if it happened with some kind of metal band, like I don't know, Disturbed or some shit. Even Limp Bizkit, I would be
dude. Like I can imagine a Wes Borland, you know, Buckethead collaboration.
Like,
I can see that.
Would be good.
Playing with Bizkit would actually make sense.
That would but it would be that would be amazing. I would.
Yeah,
but I mean, like it'd be like going to see Def Leppard, and then here comes Buckethead on guitar. Like,
it's like next to Vivian Campbell and
now
Colin.
What he fits into the Chai Dam era very well to us because we're used to it.
Hey, can you explain that term to me? Can you explain the term that you just used to me? Chai Dam?
Chinese democracy.
Chinese democracy.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
In case you haven't figured it out, I'm stupid.
Hello.
Oh god, no, come
on. What do you guys think about Bumblefoot then? After Buckethead left, he was pretty much all of his riffs. The only person I think that could pull most of them off was Bumblefoot.
Bumblefoot is technically a great idea for a replacement for Buckethead
because he is very much a Buckethead-like character. Yeah.
However, on the same breath, I don't think Bumblefoot is a good replacement for Slash at all.
Okay,
that's an interesting perspective. Yeah.
Because Bumblefoot, I mean, he's very good at what he does, but he doesn't ever put like, you know, showmanship or image to the front, which is kind of what, you know, a band like Guns N' Roses is all about.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, we're playing cool music, but like, check us out kind of feel.
I liked Bumble because his gimmick was like he's one of the dudes. Like he's like your boy that, you know, you hang out with every day, and then
he's so obviously like a LA studio session musician, like a guy who is kind of he seems like he could be one of the boys, but it's more like he just like has curated the image as one of the boys, and really he just wants to go home and listen to like Dream Theater on SACD.
I mean, he was in a kind of like a Dream Theater knockoff band. I don't know if you've
heard well, I mean, he's in so much. He's right now his gig is he's the lead vocalist and guitarist for Asia.
Whoa.
Moment
Asia?
Yep. Yeah, that band.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's
who is Bumble is?
Bumblefoot?
Yep, 100%.
I did not know that. I really didn't, and I keep up with him pretty well.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he has for like a couple years now. Yeah. I do a lot of weird research on that, so I've done way too much Bumblefoot research.
All right, I can't move forward away from the Buckethead conversation without asking about the only Buckethead song that I think most people out here would know. As a matter of fact, let me just cue it up here. Give me just a second here. Make some things happen. I think you guys probably know what I'm going to play here in just a second. I'm going to get past the ads because I use YouTube for all my shit because I'm cheap and I don't want to pay for shit.
If we're talking like Buckethead solo, there's like 3 songs I think you could play.
Nah, there's only one song, man. I know.
No, there's only one. He's right. Oh, here it is.
No.
All right.
It's not on that song. I'm sorry.
He's not on it?
I hate to tell you this. No, he plays guitar on the soundtrack for Power Rangers, but he's not on that song.
Well, that's the one everybody tells me about. That hey, that's Buckethead.
No, they think it is. It's a different guy. He plays a couple guitar tracks on the Power Rangers movie soundtrack, but he is not on the Power Rangers song.
Oh, I thought he wrote this shit.
No, unfortunately, no.
Instantly loses a little
Hate to
coolness
see it.
then.
Yeah,
See it.
I mean, he has some good guitar tracks also on the soundtracks for Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation, as well as Last Action Hero.
Yep. And Ghosts of Mars.
Ghosts of Mars. Yeah, he does a lot of that soundtrack.
Yeah.
So what song were you referring to as the one that everybody knows?
I would sing Soothsayer.
Yeah, Soothsayer, definitely.
Yeah, that's
Soothsayer
like his big song.
Yeah,
for sure.
And also
his big
that was
solo song.
It was also like one of his big songs on the either Rock Band. I think it was Rock Band.
Yeah, if you look, if you type Buckethead into YouTube, it's one of the first ones that comes up is
the only thing he
Soothsayer.
has is more than 10 million views, I think.
Yeah, it's got many views.
Double that. It's at 20.
Oh no shit! Wow, it hit 10 million last year. That was the thing. Wow, that's crazy. Good for him.
Yeah. I was expecting something a lot less chill.
Oh,
It's just a really beautiful solo.
yeah,
Like,
he's got a lot of. The stuff that tends to rise to the top for him is like really emotive, like soaring solo type stuff, which is not what he's known for, really. Like most people think he's just kind of like weird metal. You know, he's
right
in the same box as like Primus and stuff like that because you played around with him a bunch and it makes sense. But like he has a huge breadth of material and he has played basically every type of genre you can think of. Like there's something for everybody in Buckethead, but it's spread out a lot.
Well, I'm going to ask you one more question. I keep saying that. Is there a story that we haven't heard yet? Now we've told the one on here a million times about we all know the hardcore porn and dog shit story in the
studio,
which is Brian Mantia has said that's completely untrue. Buckethead spoke on the subject, but I mean, a guy who was in the studio at that time said all of that is absolute bullshit.
Yeah,
so,
I'm choosing not to believe him in this.
I
like it much better. We
don't.
I can respect that. Like as somebody who also wants to believe, like I can respect that. But Brian Mantia is unquestionably the most authentic source of information about Buckethead.
Absolutely.
Outside of Buckethead himself. Like he is the most authentic person who has spent a lot of time with the man. Like he knows him. They are friends.
Yeah.
And like there is evidence of them spending a lot of time together.
Yeah.
Like if he says that didn't happen, like that didn't happen. Like for sure.
Then what happened that inspired that story? Like who put that out?
Guns N' Roses A&R manager and their manager at the time put that story out there.
Yeah, he did.
And
he's probably all
he's called out on a ton of shit and just
so that's
a lot of his stuff from around that time and just about Guns N' Roses in general has been proven to be entirely inaccurate. So
yeah, that is not there's definitely not the only thing that he has said that is untrue. So like,
are we talking about Goldstein?
No, it's not Tom Zutov, bro. Because
that was back. Yep.
Because they're like, oh, maybe this guy can get a fucking album out of this band. We got one out of Axl, in '87 or whatever.
Yeah,
and I think Zutov was probably just salty because he got fired by Axl within like 6 months.
But I told you, man, they should have got Phil Spector, man. They'd have got that fucking album out if they'd have got.
Dude, they would have got a fucking trilogy.
And then maybe Phil Spector wouldn't have like shot someone in the head point blank.
I mean, not unless he had to. I guess if you don't want to find out, you better get your ass in that goddamn studio and start recording this fucking album. I guess is what better.
That's an interesting. I would have liked to have seen fucking
Rick Rubin.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rick Rubin. Yeah, Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin.
He's the guy who's like he can get an album done in like 2 weeks and somehow it's always good. And I'm like, what? No, they recorded that in 2 weeks and then I'm like, all right, this is good.
Shit, send that motherfucker over Axl's way.
I would love to hear Rick Rubin take on fucking Guns N' Roses. I think that would be amazing. I think he could recreate them in a cool way, like in a meaningful way. Like he's with so many people, but he did it with Johnny Cash. He's like Johnny Cash, fucking sing 9 Inch Nails, and Cash, what? And
He's
then,
like, what? I don't want to say shit. Can I say thorns instead?
that sounds good and Christian. Do that, Johnny. I'm just gonna like do some weird distortion stuff. Fine. And then fucking it's gold. It's amazing. It's like one of the best ever recorded.
That is impressive considering the man died like 2 weeks later. He could probably barely talk to get his way through a fucking recording.
Yeah, and
he talked
like,
anyway.
He's like, here, Rick, sing this Danzig song. He's like, Manzig. He's like, no, it's Danzig. He's like, what is that? And he's like, that place in Finland. He's like, sure.
It's like, listen, I just own half the rights to all of Danzig's recordings, so this is making me money. Just do it, all right, John? Fucking.
I don't know. I might pay for Johnny Cash singing Danzig.
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, fucking. The American recordings 1 through 4 are all amazing, and Danzig 1 through 4 all amazing. Thanks, Rick Rubin. Thanks, Rick Rubin.
Well, guys, with that, we're going to go ahead and hit play, and we're going to take a listen to a little bit of Duff McKagan, and hopefully we don't just burn our energy for nothing here, because at least we waited to the end. I've been stalling. I stalled long enough.
Yeah.
Man, the conversation's been flowing, man. I can't complain.
Yeah, let's get this over with.
Don't ruin it, Duff.
Yeah, fucking McKagan. Is he going to be doing his fake Cogni voice in this, you think?
Yeah, $20 is yes.
Okay. Are we all gonna make a bet?
Kind of. I already listened to the song like a dozen times today.
I listened to it several times today.
Okay, see, I have not listened to it at all. So, like, I love how everybody did more research than me.
Go ahead and hit play.
Yeah, sometimes the first time.
Okay.
The way the drums kick in after that little riff.
Well, fuck it. We about to get a decent fucking song out of Duff McKagan?
Holy shit. This could be the first in a long ass time.
I can't think of a second one, but okay. So far, I'm digging it.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't hate this song. Like, I do disagree with one part in the song, and I can talk about that. I believe it's already happened here. One of the lines in the song is, quote, "I ain't dumb," and I think that might be a lie.
I am not sure about the accuracy. Of this statement.
I require an IQ test.
Yep. Not sure. But
I
the
don't
song
think
itself
Duff
is not bad
at all.
Yeah, it's a good vibe. It's a good riff. I'm liking it so far.
Music's not bad. I feel it's very it has got a very LA studio musician sound to the whole thing.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say it sounds like very 80s. Like he's like ripped something from like any like insert like glam metal band here, and it's like there you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like Warrant's 90s stuff. It's it's
or
White Snake's late 90s stuff. It's like insert any like band you used to listen to a lot here, and then like their latter day material that's really well done. It's just like not quite as good or catchy. It's fine. It's fine.
It did feel like well done, but it felt very like this is like a classic 80s or like some kind of heavy rock band that's then doing like an alternative rock kind of flavor thing that's still in the same vibes as the old stuff, but maybe a little alternative, you know?
So my big gripe with the song is the lyrics. As like a lyricist myself, like the rhyme schemes here, like all of the rhymes they're going for are so basic. Like go slow, no.
Yeah.
Truth, you. That doesn't work. Sing wrong. That doesn't
Free
work.
with me.
Yeah. I think the real strength of the song is probably like in the musicianship of it. The mixing is really good. The bass tone is awesome.
Yeah.
The guitars like work just fine. The drums are a little simplistic, but they work with the whole mix overall. Vocals are pretty good. Is Duff doing the vocals on here? Is he singing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like the vocals are pretty good.
Fine. Yeah.
Pretty good.
For the bassist singing, yeah, I'm fine with these vocals.
Did he play guitar or bass on this?
That's a tough call. I really don't know.
I feel like
it depends on the track.
I think it varies.
It sounds like his bass style and his bass tone.
That being said, though, like I've watched a few Duff McKagan like music videos, and in every music video for his solo stuff that I have seen, he's always playing guitar. So I was curious as to like what he played on this, because like I feel like he is one of those people that like was probably very much a guitar player forced to play bass sort of situation. And
I mean, he's good at it.
Yeah, no, he's great at it, like for sure. Yeah, it's like this song is totally fine. That's how I feel about it. It feels like the sort of song where like I don't know if any of y'all have ever opened up like a digital audio workstation, like anything, you know, like Logic or Cubase, or Pro Tools, whatever. You open that up and there's like a default track that opens where it kind of shows off like a mix you could do in it. And it's like, hey, here's this like really kind of generic but well done song that's like, that shows you all the features of the digital audio workstation. This felt like that kind of a song where it's like, oh, cool. Like here's these example tracks that you can like look at for this like generic rock song.
So on this track, Duff McKagan played guitar and all guitars. Jeff Rouse played the bass, and he was also the primary songwriter.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, did the lead vocals too, Jeff Rouse. I've looked here on.
Oh, is he the? Okay, yeah, because he's also listed as vocals, but both him and Duff are listed as.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the Wikipedia thing for this. It says lead vocals on Translucent. So Duff's taking a back seat for once.
Yeah,
so that's why he's not thinking like that.
Yeah.
Oh God! Another fucking
Duff McKagan
song.
So it was apparently recorded over at Jupiter Studios here in Seattle.
Nice.
Chris, why don't you do your thing where you give us your good radio voice and read us some of these lyrics so we can like break them down and fully appreciate them before we play the rest of the song.
Yeah, appreciate these mad rhymes from Duff McKagan. All right. Yeah, I see right through. Everything you want me to believe is true. So don't lie to me, because this freedom sure ain't free. Oh God, that's fucking true.
This freedom sure ain't free.
I'm sorry, I feel like QAnon would use that line.
Yeah, it's not a good line.
It's not. Oh my God.
It's like, you know what they do? They lull you into this false sense of security, and because freedom sure ain't free. What's the cost?
I'm an American soldier.
Just fucking cute, real American.
Where we go, one,
put a boot in your ass.
Holy shit. Yo, I've got something completely unrelated, but I got to share it with y'all. I just like one of the things you said reminded me to look up this thing about this guy that I talked to earlier this week. Like, so I work like a tech support kind of job, and like I interact with a lot of. I interact with a lot of the public, and I was talking to this guy named Andy the other day who had like a problem with his computer or whatever. Like I fixed it, whatever. We started talking, and he was like, oh, what do you do? And I was like, whatever. And he was like, how'd you get into doing this? And I was like, oh, I used to do a lot of stuff with like audio engineering and like, working on music and like playing in bands and that kind of stuff. And, that sort of shit. And he was like, "Oh yeah, man, you should get back into it. I've done a lot of audio work over the years, blah blah blah, like that sort of stuff. You should get back into it." And then I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And so I just looked up who that guy is. I looked up his name, and he is a very famous bass player who has played with Hart, Tracy Chapman, like a bunch of other people.
Oh, Andy. Oh, I know that guy. He used to work at Bass Northwest.
Yeah, like
he
was super cool.
Nice
like
guy.
really sick dude. Like I didn't realize who he was.
I actually know that guy. Yeah, he's like a studio guy around here. He's pretty
recorded with a whole bunch of shit, bunch of bands. Like super cool.
I don't know. I wonder if he's working at the where Bass Northwest relocated to in fucking West Seattle or whatever.
Yeah.
But cool
Small
dude.
World.
Yeah.
Speaking of bass players, we got bass players in our lives and in our hearts.
Seattle basses. All right.
Seattle bass players. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Anyway, back to the lyrics. Where were we?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Yeah. So what's the cost supposed to be? Don't take me for old and dead. Don't start singing about what is wrong. I'm thinking you ain't that strong to take the truth. I ain't dumb. I know it's you.
So this has got to be about like cheating or something, right?
Yeah, I feel like with a lot of like Duff songs we reviewed, he just talks about like women and shit a lot for some reason. Like,
I mean, I feel like that's the California thing. If you're not like Red Hot Chili Peppers and directly doing songs about California, you're doing songs about like just interrelational bullshit. Because that's all, I mean, that you live in a place where the weather's nice all the time. You're rich and have all the money you could ever want. Like, what's the fucking what struggle are you writing about?
Yeah, I can see that. That's one of the arguments I've made about a new GNR record. Like, it wouldn't have the same grit as Appetite did.
Oh, definitely not.
It's like we made it and we're old.
Yeah,
and we've been rich for longer than we were ever poor now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I get like what Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 are going for, and I like them for what they are, but like they are a symptom of the success of Appetite for Destruction. If Appetite were not that successful, they would have never made a fucking album like Use Your Illusion. They wouldn't have fucking gotten a piano player and shit. Like,
yeah, they wouldn't have a budget to make that album.
Yeah, they might have made something like the Spaghetti Incident, but like,
we couldn't avoid that one.
We know what the Spaghetti Incident is.
Oh, we do now. We do.
We've experienced that together.
Shawn Michaels, yeah.
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Back in the limo.
Steven Adler?
Where can somebody, guys? When you guys were on Tara and Robin, and you guys read the fan fiction, where is that at now? Did somebody isolate that and post it somewhere?
So Brit actually pulled it out of their stream, and we have released it as a podcast. So y'all can listen to that.
And they released it as well, so you can listen to it on either us or Gettin Head, a Buckethead, or Nothing Lasts Forever.
That was so fun to read. I had so much fun with that.
That was a fun spur of the moment. Like,
not to put you on the spot, I think I could drop it on our feed before you guys come on as a preview.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Send me your email and I'll email you the file.
All right, I will. I'll shoot it to you in the private chat.
I've been thinking about this because, like, I would love to read more fan fiction on the air. We should.
I know, Spencer. You have been trying to read fan fiction.
So, like, what we're gonna do?
Other podcast sense, and I'm like,
that's been my plan to get you guys on the whole time. That was the original plan.
We can't just do a podcast about fanfic because we're gonna wear people out. Like, their boners can only take so much.
Right? It's true. I love that.
Like, can only come so much, so you can't.
But here's my idea, though. How about we do this? How about we do a bonus episode of our show where we have y'all come on and we'll read a fan fiction, and we'll just do that. We'll do it for fun. We'll have a night of it. It'll be good. I'll select something excellent for us.
We'll do something. You know what we're going to do, Spencer?
What's that?
Is you're going to select something excellent that is, of course, wrestling related, And I'm going to make you watch the required back wrestling to understand.
No, I don't want to do this anymore. This doesn't sound fun.
No, it does. Shut up. It's gonna be fun.
You,
no matter what, because you're gonna like choose like Bret Hart something, and I'm like, all right, I got like 3 matches for you, brother. We're gonna do this.
I'd rather hang out in this fucking toilet.
Fucking you know what? There are wrestling matches that do have toilets involved. So if you really want to go there, I will make your dreams come true.
I have no dreams like that, Brad.
All right.
I have no dreams like that.
There's some hoes in this house.
All right. There's some toilets in this house.
All right. I'm gonna hit play because we're only a third of the way through the song.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's listen to the song. So. All right, guitar solo's coming up. So you guys have heard it. Should I expect sick or should I expect meh?
It's a fine chord solo.
Yeah, it's perfectly functional.
It's very like late 90s pop rock kind of guitar chord solo. It's good. It's good for what it is, I'll say.
All right. Well, here we go. Let's take a listen. That's a weird ass fucking transition. Yeah, I don't like.
It's a very like pop punk solo. I'm like, it's a Green Day song.
I liked the solo just fine. It's just whenever all of a sudden it just like hard slammed on the brakes.
Yeah,
like it kind of jarred.
Bridge time.
I see your faces cold and blue. Your expressions make it true. Suck the life all out of me.
I'm gonna tell you, that's a hell of a beat.
I'm sorry. That line. Your face all cold and blue. Your expression shows it's true.
Yeah, your expressions make it true. It sucked the life all out of me.
So that's about getting a blowjob.
That's about Duff McKagan sticking his dick in a dead girl's mouth.
Yeah, see, now that you say that, and I actually look at the lyrics,
yeah.
Okay, see, I was thinking it was the other way around. Like I was hearing my face is cold and blue, and then I was like, oh my god,
her face is cold and blue. Her expressions show it's true. Suck the life right out of me. In a dead girl's mouth, 100%. That's the only
100%.
Yeah,
because I really always knew that my little crime.
That's interesting stuff, McKagan.
Don't stop singing.
I hate the LA breakdown.
Do what?
I hate the LA breakdown. The
breakdown.
Yeah, yes. Maybe bass, but definitely drums and vocal. No, I hate.
It's very like 80s
does
Kiss.
Feel a little out of place here in this.
Yeah, it's too.
It's too much like you're putting too much faith in people wanting to sing your chorus.
Yeah,
it feels
exactly.
uncomfortable.
Because this is something like in concert, you just
and you want to sing along to it.
No.
And so like them doing it in a song like this, you're like, this is like a thing they do live. It's not like a thing you keep in the recording. You know what I mean?
They
want
to give it that live energy though, which is a thing about a lot of like LA recordings. Is they're like, oh, it sounds like it's live. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, you just want to give it like a wide sound, and that's what you're saying.
All right, I'm gonna polish it off, and then we'll do closing thoughts, and we'll talk more about it. We got about a minute left.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Don't stop singing. No one is wrong, I'm thinking. You ain't that strong to tell you the truth. Why you don't know it's you.
So that's the lyric that you especially hated right there. Is at the end. It's like he's like, I don't know, maybe you are dumb, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think Duff's very intelligent. I can see where Tara and Robin, when they talk about like Slash being a himbo, like
Slash is a dog in a guitarist's body.
Yeah, pretty much.
Definitely.
he's such a good boy. He's
Just like, if he like
He does drool a lot.
Yeah,
you know?
like drool in the
record.
middle of the solo when it goes too hard, and like if you don't take him outside enough, he'll like pee his leather pants.
Uh-huh.
No, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a fragile boy. Yeah, he's a weird, helpless alcoholic, but we love Slash.
all right. So it's time for the portion of the show where we do our final thoughts in solo form on the song, and we rate these 1 out of 5.
Okay.
Who wants to kick us off? Britain, Spencer.
I'll do it. I'll do it
Okay.
here. So, this is a 1 out of 5. Is it 1 out of 5 guns or roses?
That's a great question.
I'm gonna give this one altogether a solid 2.5 guns out of 5 roses.
Okay.
Like that.
It was the song is written very competently. Like, I don't like the lyrics. The lyrics I feel are super lazy, or they're just like they're like himbo lyrics. They're like, oh, what rhymes with truth? Can I do you? Is that and
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah,
So Chad.
yeah, it's like 2 guys sitting around with a legal pad, and like it's like which one of us knows how to read? Oh, all right, you can write it. And it's fine. The thing about like Duff obviously putting his dick in a dead girl's mouth, that's unexcusable.
unless she was into it beforehand, you know.
I'm gonna have something to say about that in my review. Also.
Like that, if you put that in her NDA, or not NDA, GNR, the do not resuscitation. Like, if
DNR.
put me on life support, you can put Duff McKagan's dick in my mouth at any time.
It's okay. It's okay. I signed
Boss,
up
we
for
got
it.
another
I
one.
approve of that.
That's on the that's a checkbox on the organ donor registry there.
Let me just step on the scene of the crime.
But altogether, it's not a bad track. It's just very written, very like, hey, let's make a song for the radio. And I don't feel that there's like any real emotion behind the song. And so I can't like rate it well because of that. Like, there's no pain there. There's nothing that rocks there, to be honest. There's no. It's a rock song, but like none of the content like makes me think, yeah, that rocks. I'm just like, man, that
It rocks about as hard as like hiking with youth group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It rocks about as hard as a second date that didn't go well, which I feel like is what this kind of thing is about. Like, you lied.
It does kind of have that like Christian rock sound to it in a way.
Almost.
It's very clean, except
very
for the part
dad
where
rock. Yeah.
sticks his dick in a dead girl's mouth.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
Well, Spencer,
All right. I'm ready to give my opinion here.
All right.
I'm gonna give it in character a little bit. Bing bong. Hey Seattle, this is Duff McKagan from Duff McKagan. I would rate my song Translucent 3 Duffs out of McKagan. It's a dad rock anthem. If you leave your baggage unattended, it will be destroyed. Thanks for visiting Seattle Tacoma International Airport. Bing bong.
If you see something, say something beautiful. Why would he give his own song a 3 out of 5?
That's my only impact over that. It's just giving my own opinion.
Maybe
the rest of that, Duff's words.
Maybe okay. Maybe you should give it 3 unattended bags out of 5.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Hang on, Chris, you do yours. I've got to take this call.
Yeah, it's not like a terrible song. I mean, instrumentally, it's pretty good. It's catchy. It's like your like average catchy riff, but like even like deep diving through the lyrics, the lyrics are very like one dimensional and like very like I mentioned like a few minutes ago, like Chad-esque, like they're just dumb. Like even reading through it, it's just like, oh, lyrically it's a chore. It's like this would have been probably more appropriate in like the 80s lyrically, like because you get away with a lot more stupid shit then.
Yeah,
but like not.
And the production was more interesting then. You know, it's like it was bigger. It was different. You know.
Yeah. I think like my overall rating, I probably have to go 2.5 out of 5 on this one.
Fair.
Yes,
Fair.
2.5. Oh God, I can't even laugh looking it through. 2.5 Arby's hoses in the bathroom. Arby's hose in this house.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Hell yeah.
2.5 blown out toilets out of 5 hoses. It's
yes, the math equals out there.
Sorry, I forgot to give you your solo layout there, Chris. I apologize. Had a bit of an incident.
It's time for your review, sir.
My review of it, I mean, I said it's very Stacy's mom.
She's got it going on. So I've heard.
If she's not frozen.
Let me put it this way: if this was strictly a Duff McKagan podcast, if we would have said fuck Guns N' Roses, we're gonna do a podcast where we listen to nothing but Duff McKagan songs and review and break down one by one. This would be in 5-star fucking territory right now with some of the bullshit we've heard on this show.
That tracks.
So I will say, I listened to the song like a dozen times, but I didn't put it on repeat until after like 8 times. And the song that always played after it was called Mother's Day. And that song sucks. I will say.
Bad.
I don't know
I
if
listened
we've
to half
that
of it at one point, and I was like, nah, I don't want this.
No.
Yeah, it's Duff on this show. We've listened to enough Duff now to decide that Duff's music is just terrible. So compared to the bullshit he normally puts out, oh my God, this is fucking amazing. It's like, because sometimes we've toyed with the idea of having an America's Got Talent buzzer. If both of us just want to check out and not review this fucking song anymore, we can just opt out. Like and give it a 0 and be done with it.
I mean, to be fair, like you are reviewing him based on like this band and not like his better material, like that one song that goes bing bong. Hey, this is Duff McKagan. Welcome to the Seattle International Airport.
If you can get me a recording of that, I'll play.
I will actually do my best. I'm actually sure I can actually find one.
It's probably on YouTube. Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
This is Duff McKagan. This is always how I do Duff. Like we do caricatures on this show, not really impressions, just caricatures, I guess.
Yeah.
Of people.
He does definitely have like a surfer affect to everything he does, though. Like, he carries that tan everywhere he goes, even in Seattle, which doesn't make any sense.
It's possible to get a tan
here. I've actually got a friend in Seattle I haven't heard from in a while, so I might try to get up that way. But the sidetrack. Yeah, the song itself, compared to all of the other material that we have reviewed and are going to review, including Guns N' Roses, and put into the standard that we normally set for these, is probably about a 2 for me also. So
fair.
Like
Fair.
I said, though, now if this was a Duff McKagan loaded podcast and we decided we were just going to go in blindly together and discover only Duff McKagan loaded, this would be a 5 fucking star, because I'd be so happy to hear decent music at this point in this fucking podcast.
Hell yeah.
That-
Hell yeah.
I didn't. Okay, Duff's standard to get him at least 1 guaranteed star is I don't come out of the song in a much worse mood than I went in, because there's been times I've had to fake it. Me and Chris get off here and I'll just be acting like an asshole when we go off the air.
Like, I'm pissed. This is shit.
Like, I'll be pissed. I had like this song ruined my fucking day.
So Spencer and I kind of recently had a similar 3 months of that where Buckethead made fucking
31 noise albums.
32 noise albums in a
32
row.
Noise albums in a row.
And
We listened to all of them.
Yeah.
We made like
Oh,
10 episodes out of those. Like, it was fucking crazy. Like, it was miserable and gnarly. And we were like, we're just going to talk about other shit. We're not going to talk about these albums. There was one episode where we like straight up did not talk about the albums, really. Like,
yeah, we kind of
like,
skipped over and they're like, yeah, it's a noise album. Anyway,
here's other funny shit we can talk about.
And, you know,
Yeah,
you know, there's more important things to talk about than noise music.
definitely.
But guys, we're gonna continue. You guys have anywhere to be? Do you want to stick around for Shotcast?
I got to get going, so I'm
Okay.
going to get out of
I
here.
might be out of here too. Yeah.
All right.
It's
Well,
been
thank you
fun
guys
hanging out. Thank
for
you,
coming
dudes.
on.
Mhm.
And we look forward to coming on your show soon and reading some more
Yes.
fan fiction.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
before you go, would you like to stick around while we spin the wheel and find out what we're going to do next week?
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
spin that
do it.
wheel, baby.
All right, here goes.
Fading by Adler's appetite.
Oh, all right.
Question: even Steven Adler?
Yeah.
There you go.
Even Adler's appetite?
Even
Yeah,
Adler's
hell
solo
yeah.
band 2012.
We love that.
Yeah, we've covered the best song they did and the one that you hated, and we've already done
That was
that.
a pretty
haven't we?
good one. Yeah.
That's the best song off
from
that album.
just
I'll just go
Adler,
ahead.
strictly Adler. Yeah. There's not
Yeah,
much
I'll
of his
just-
stuff out there, but like it's actually been probably slightly more on the 3-star side.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Okay. Is it? Well, I mean, Steven Adler, he just plays drums on all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't.
And
do
there's
anything.
like 17 different lineups he's played with. Like it's
Yeah.
Right, I
ridiculous.
mean,
Yes.
he's a good drummer. He knows not
Yeah.
to be a front man. That's great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was Fading by Adler's Appetite. That's next week coming up.
Oh,
Yeah, man, we'll look forward to it and look forward to hearing more from you guys. And thank you for coming on. Welcome
Yeah.
aboard.
Namaste. We appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
And for now, I guess that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Guns and Radio podcast.
Hell yeah.
So
yeah.
Until next time, I'm Dustin Bonez.
And I'm Chris Caputo. Join us Saturday for Shotcast Saturday, and join us next Monday for our edition of Guns and Radio. Finally back on our Adverse Appetite shit. But until then, guys, stay safe and peace out.
Get your hand off my penis!
That too.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Keep it real, fellas.
Namaste.
Yes.